exploring and starting to, so in the Center for Teaching and Learning, obviously we support all of the strategic priorities of college. And recently I was charged with starting to raise conversations about the entrepreneurial mindset in education. And of course, I'm a life or education person, right? I mean, I've been in the education system for my entire life, my entire career, so I have no idea what that means, to be honest with you. I'm like, I am not an entrepreneur, I don't know anything about it. So, having been charged with that, and this is also starting to become a conversation district-wide. And the district held an entrepreneurial mindset dialogue day not that long ago. So I had to go because I had to figure out what this is so I can know where to start. And I went, and it was fascinating. Because really, the entrepreneurial mindset, from what I'm gathering and from what I'm understanding, is it's kind of aligns very well with the mission of the community college. And what we at Mesa Community College pride ourselves in doing, which is being innovative and fostering critical thinkers, right? Our students to be not just good students, but to be innovators and step off the path and find their way and creatively think and problem solve and follow their new ideas. So in an effort to do that, during the dialogue day, I got to see Dr. Sada present, and I thought she was fantastic. So I invited her to join us today so that she can help educate all of us, including myself. But know that this will be something we'll be exploring further as we go along. Dr. Sada is a faculty member. She's a full-time faculty member in psychology and entrepreneurship at Paradise Valley Community College in our district. And she has been, previously, she worked for a Fortune 500 company before entering education, where now she does both psychology and social entrepreneurship, which I'm looking forward to all of us exploring and hearing together. So please welcome Dr. Sada.
Thank you. They wanted me to use a handheld mic, and I'm going to click and try to put my glasses on and off too. But I love what Jennifer said, because we are trying to infuse the entrepreneurial mindset, entrepreneurial behaviors across disciplines and throughout our organizations. And I'll tell you a couple stories about how I ended up one of the social entrepreneurship people. My rose-colored glasses there are for, if you saw the title of the presentation and you went, oh gosh, changing the world here, right? Okay, I acknowledge that that's a rose-colored glasses statement. Or if you saw the title of the presentation and you went, oh, I love it, that's good. Part of what we're going to talk about today is the diversity of thought that we have about these things, and how we can all come together and actually do some really fun and meaningful stuff within the organization as employees, but also for our students to fulfill the mission of the community colleges in a meaningful way, and prepare our students for real jobs that they want, high-paying jobs, not sit in your seat, be well-controlled jobs. That's more shadowing, but active learning. Okay. So today, what we're talking about comes through these lenses, because these are some of the lenses that I see through. And over on the left-hand side, it says no citations, but lots of pictures of real people. Because if we don't get real people to do real things, does any of this stuff matter anyway? Okay? All right, so these are things that you're experiencing, I suspect, this week at Camp Inspire. The 3 preconditions for innovation. And sometimes I think we get ahead of ourselves and start talking about what's the curriculum, what's the program, what's the meeting going to be about, before we sit back and take a breath and enjoy each other. And I loved walking into this room because you have snacks here to share with each other. You have table tents with a theme. I saw people dressed up like campers. And when you were all mixing and sitting down, you were talking and having conversations already. And so you've already demonstrated some of the preconditions for innovation. And this is what I think, if we spend a little more time on this, if we backed up a little bit more, we might have more innovations. We're going to practice that a little bit together today. This is actually a picture of Master Teacher about 5 years ago. If any of you attended Master Teacher, that's where I met Dr. John Hayashi. And he looks like a videographer today, but he teaches biology at Paradise Valley Community College. And one of the secrets of our successes with projects that I've been working on is that we recruit people to do things they want to do. Things that they want to do, not things that they have to do. So he's here as his videographer self, not as his biology self. Okay, we're in education. We're going to go into definitions first. Here are some of the definitions. Oops. Where'd they go? So, traditional definition of entrepreneurship is, that's somebody who starts a business and creates jobs. And then the next question is, well, how many jobs did you create? Is that really entrepreneurship if you only created 2 jobs? And we're going way broader than that, just as Jennifer described, the entrepreneurial mindset and behaviors, because it could really be all of us. So next you see the broad definition of entrepreneurship, and then we go to intrapreneurship. And so on our campus, we talk a lot about how the students, if they're going to be intrapreneurs or entrepreneurs, most likely. If they're in high-paying jobs, then the companies that they're being hired by want them to be solution creators. They want them to do something that the company hasn't figured out yet. The companies aren't looking for passive learners who have been well controlled in their seats in college and told what to do and then answered right questions on a multiple choice test. So we want to give them experiences so that they can build their proactive, getting outside their comfort zone skills as intrapreneurs as well. Social entrepreneurship, someone who starts a nonprofit, anybody who uses entrepreneurial mindset, entrepreneurial behaviors, that also has a social purpose. Maybe a change one person's life purpose or a change the world purpose and everything in between. One of the projects I work on at PD is Club Z, and you'll see some pictures of that. And our basic definition for social entrepreneurship is entrepreneurship plus positive social change. And that is how, I hope your wheels are already turning, but that could be all of us. And in the projects that we do, everyone is involved. Facilities, the printing department, all disciplines, all departments, everybody is welcome, everybody is always invited. So those are the definitions, but let's move past those. I'm not very good at this innovation. All right. So why social enterprise? And this is following along on the purple handout that you have on your table. We're going to walk through that handout. The no, think, do that you thought, this is one of my rants, and I thought that I may have been too ranty the day I met Jennifer. But one of my rants is no, think, do. That in higher education, we've been good at knowing for a long time. People in higher education have gotten right answers on tests for a long time. We're getting better at thinking, because now we talk a lot more about critical and creative thinking, but we still sometimes struggle with the do part. We have lots of meetings and we talk and talk and talk. And we do assessment, but it seems we don't do anything with the assessments that we've taken. So one of the foci of this initiative in entrepreneurial mindset, entrepreneurial behavior, social entrepreneurship is to take people to the action stage. So you can read the statement there on your handout, but social entrepreneurship isn't just for our students. It's not us doing something to them or for them. It's all of us engaging in a process where we're all becoming more entrepreneurial. We're all becoming more proactive. We're all stepping outside our comfort zones and trying something that we haven't tried before. One of the things it says on your handout there is, doesn't that belong to the business department, entrepreneurship? And one of the beauties of social entrepreneurship that invites all of us in is, and there are two ways that this can happen. I'm not talking about any college within Maricopa. We'll say it somewhere else. That sometimes the business department says, hey, entrepreneurship, that's ours. We are the business people. Or sometimes psychology and sociology and the printing departments and advising, say, well, entrepreneurship, doesn't that belong in the business department? That's not us. But if we really get into these topics of social entrepreneurship and think about what we could do together and what we could have fun doing together while we try to change the world, then social entrepreneurship is a good way to connect all of us. And when we think about our students, one of the beauties of social entrepreneurship is if you're in a classroom situation, you can get students to raise their hands to one of two questions. First question, do you want to make lots of money when you graduate and get a degree? Yeah. And the ones that don't raise their hand, would you like to change the world and make it a better place? And so social entrepreneurship can engage students for different reasons on different levels. And it helps other departments and other disciplines see their involvement in entrepreneurship, and it helps the business department let go a little bit. And one of the reasons that I'm one of the social entrepreneurship people is because I'm actually not part of the business department. I'm in psychology. And sometimes I get plucked as the token other discipline person. But I also involve myself in these things because I love it, and I watch students do amazing things. Down in the corner there, you see, I'm going to show you that bigger. And I think I have a problem with bureaucracy so much that I spelled it wrong on that one picture. But the three continuums that we're working on right here with social entrepreneurship are taking us from bureaucracy up to entrepreneurship within our organization as a whole. And this is the thought that higher education needs to become more entrepreneurial if we're going to stay relevant and not be replaced. For students, to get them from the place of believing that they're creators up to becoming entrepreneurs. I have students the first day of their class, I say, what are you good at? What can you do? They can't even answer that question. They're not going to be Bill Gates the next day. We have to move them along and continue on and try to get outside their comfort zone and see themselves as leading their own journey. So we're moving them along that continuum. And a lot of that has to do with active and experiential learning, I think. Faculty, moving faculty from teacher to student centered. That it is so nice and comfy to do the same lecture every semester the same way. And campus is so good at grading multiple choice tests. But that is not going to prepare students for high-paying jobs. And my thought is if we keep them in their seats well controlled, then we're actually putting them to sleep work, anesthetizing them, and maybe disabling them instead of empowering them for their future careers. Up there, Leroy, I made that up, and this is like reaching out to you. Life, energy, return on investment. Why might each one of us in this room love social entrepreneurship? Because this can make you want to go to work every day. That regardless of what role you play in a community college, we're with students and we touch our community every day. When I was in the pharmaceutical industry, I had to build meaning. I'd go to Starbucks and try to build meaning into my day. Now we can walk our campuses and we can touch and have meaning throughout our campuses. So life, energy, return on investment is how much energy are you putting in and what are you getting back? And social entrepreneurship is so much fun because you get to watch students know and experience changing the world and making things better, and they also discover that they have skills that they didn't know they had before. They discover that they can do something. They don't have to sit in their seat. If any of you are used to Bloom's taxonomy, was created at the top, where remembering is the lowest level of cognition, so I'm taking on multiple choice tests again, that if we're just having students memorize information, that will not prepare them for their future jobs. But if we turn them into creators, if they believe that they can create, they can take all the content that we've given them, if they can take these experiences and do something new, that's the empowerment where they believe that they can go out and get a great job, and they believe that they can change the world. Okay, so we're still in the background. This general education abilities are on the left-hand side. All colleges have general education abilities, skills that we say are built into our gen ed classes. On the right, you have a handout, and I do work with Sustainability Club. I gave you a lot of paper today. If you don't need the paper, want to keep the paper, leave the paper, and we'll take it and use it again. But the low mentor skills are a way to talk about, and you can use this within your departments. And again, you're in advising, you work in the print shop, you work in facilities, you're faculty. These low mentor skills are marketable skills out in the real world. And I use this in my classes to talk with students about, hey, what are you good at? Because a lot of them can't tell me what they're good at right away. And I especially love this for students who are like in dev ed or don't know that they belong yet in college, that when I pull this list out and I say, pick the 5 of these that you think you're best at now, the ones that look like the most fun to you, the things that you might like to be hired for someday. And students, this tells them that they are good at something already. And this is part of the messaging about telling them that they do belong here. So this has a lot of layers to it. But if you would like any ideas for how to use the Lomanger skills, let me know that you all have a copy there. Okay, for social entrepreneurship, this is where a lot of people spend a lot of time. What should we do? We don't have to create a really complicated, this is the program I got to. We don't have to create a big, complicated program. In fact, if we think about moving us as employees along that continuum, we think about moving students along that continuum, that even if we just start out with a simple project right off the bat, that's something where we can practice our skills, build relationships, and start working together, accomplishing things. So these are some pictures of something that we've done, and I bet you already have events like this. You don't even have to start anything new. Maybe just add some layers of entrepreneurial mindset, entrepreneurial behavior, add some layers of social entrepreneurship. One of the simplest things that we've done was a lemonade slush stand, and the students sold that, and they made a couple $100 on campus, but they had so much fun doing it, and they planned it, they had to get the supplies, they had to do purchase orders, get money, and so they went through the steps of proactively figuring out how to create this event. And we bundle our events, so for instance, I have a chat in the grass, usually with the events that I do, and I have a philosophy friend, so my philosophy friend helps us with entrepreneurship on our campus, and we set up a big circle in the grass, and she facilitates a philosophical conversation about something like entrepreneurship, or social entrepreneurship, or altruism. Then we have music, we invite other clubs to promote themselves, so that other clubs have an opportunity to demonstrate their behaviors and other ways for students to engage. So these are just some examples. So don't spend too much time on the social entrepreneurship project. Just bring somebody into the mix. This is a picture of the Share Z Love bundle event that we did for social entrepreneurship. And now this is where we're going to spend the most time today. This is how we can create a new microculture. How can we do things differently? If we've been in education for 5 years, 20 years, 30 years, if we've been in the Maricopa culture for a long time, if we've been within the MCC or the Ph.D. culture for a long time, we have a lot of very well-established social norms. You're used to walking into different meetings, and they feel the same way. And people say the same things. And you hear comments like, it'll never work. We tried that one time. Or, you're being mean in this meeting. Or, you're not trying to achieve results. And so we have all these common social patterns that happen in our meetings. And so this model that you have on the purple sheet is to use any model that you want for creating your new microculture together. So for instance, if you're advising and you want to start a social entrepreneurship movement, you want to add on to some event that's already happening here at MCC, maybe you are a fan of 7 Habits Highly Effective People, or maybe you've done a strength quest through the district, or maybe you like the 5 dysfunctions of the team. But you take a model, any model, that helps you create new content for your team, and then you start living that model, and you hold people accountable to the new model to help leave some of the old social norms behind, so that you can create a microculture that behaves in new ways. Okay, let's take a look at these together. And again, the reason we're doing this is to create some common language. So even at your tables right now, you can create a microculture with some new shared content. And something about yourself. And so this creates also a model for people to be able to say who they are, and to understand somebody else, at least one aspect of somebody else. So, all right, so analytical, driver, expressive, and amiable. Who is analytical? Who primary individual.
Oh, God.
All right. Drivers? Drivers in the room? Amiable? Expressives? The hand thing with the hand. Okay, expressives. Who was kind of balanced across the couple? Or a few? How about who was way off the charts on 1 or 2? All right. And all of those are right answers. And that's why I love this as a test. This is one of my favorites. Myers-Briggs is probably the most popular test in the world. There are a lot of these that companies use. I was given this one back with Novartis Pharmaceutical. I worked for Procter & Gamble and for Bristol Myers Squibb and for Novartis. And this was the basis for sales training and leadership training. And it wasn't on how to do something to somebody else. It was how to understand and appreciate other people. So some of us might look at this as diversity training, which I love it as that, because I think we're well trained on protected classes and prejudice and discrimination, but we really give ourselves away often on how people think and behave. And so this is a model for us to let all voices be heard in a meeting. And if we're going to innovate, then we need to make sure that we're letting all people speak up within a meeting so that we can innovate and accomplish social entrepreneurship together. So some of you might use this more as diversity training, some of you might use it for sales training. And ideally, you use it to create a microculture so that people can work better together. So here are some thoughts. I want to show you this. On the continuums. So you can think of this continuum goes the ask, tell way. So if you're on this side, maybe if you were in a meeting, you'd be more likely to ask questions first. If you're on that side of the continuum, maybe you would be more likely to share what you think right off the bat. If you're up towards the top on the continuum, it says control or emote. Sometimes the top is called task. That imagine you're planning a meeting. The task-oriented person would have the agenda bullet points. That would be most important. Down at the bottom, the emotes or the more people-oriented person initially would be, how's your weekend? What'd you do this weekend? And so, who do you think has the hardest time getting along with each other? Next to, across from?
Drivers and amiables.
Kitty, well, actually, it's kitty. Driver, that's a good point. But typically with the styles, and nobody's a pure style, and we need all styles, so all styles are good. But typically the people who are kitty or crisscross from each other are the ones that struggle with each other most. So for instance, an amiable might think, those drivers are so mean. They don't even care about the people in this meeting. And then the driver might think, oh my gosh, those amiables, they're so wishy-washy. Peace and harmony, let's hug each other. How about getting something done? The expressives and the analyticals. Expressives and the analyticals, oh my gosh, are we going to pull out another spreadsheet? How many more details do we have to go over before we get something done? And then the analyticals, the expressives, oh my gosh, intellectual lightweight. Woo, it's a party, everything's a party to them. So you may think about your department, people you work with, who seem that way. I was thinking this when I'm planning Squaw Peak. Nobody's talking about all the great people they work with, they're talking about someone who's driving them nuts. This model can help you look at someone who's driving you nuts, your family members, your coworkers, and maybe appreciate a form of diversity that you haven't thought about before. And when we talk about, hey, how do we create entrepreneurial ecosystems on our campus? How do we create entrepreneurial programs or social entrepreneurial programs? A lot of times we haven't backed up to experience the 3 preconditions together, and we don't have a shared culture to bind us together. We don't have a way to bring a diverse group together. And so that's why, with what's on your lavender handout here, purple handout, depending on how you look at it, that we create a shared culture in some way. I use this in my culture classes, and what ends up happening happening is the students start having conversations like, hey, I'm a driver, I need my results. I'll let you have your peace and harmony if we can just commit to something right now. Or the analytical saying, hey, expressive, you have made this so much more, you've made this fun. I love that we're at Starbucks having fun together, but you know what, we need to cover a few more details. Did you even read the rubric? So this is a way for people, my students start joking about it, but it's because they have a shared culture, they have a shared language, and so I have some miraculous stories I can tell you about the groups. I hate group projects, I don't want to do group projects. And then ending up learning to work with different people, and we have to do this if we're going to create change initiatives. And social entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial mindset, that has changed. This is one of my rants, and I love America, but John and I were talking today about how we are so grateful that we get to work in this amazing place. And at the same time, we are, I think, sometimes a couch potato bureaucracy. And so if we could become more entrepreneurial, if we could get outside of our comfort zones, if we could work across disciplines and really break down those silos, not just talk about silos, this is how we could change the world within our colleges, Maricopa, and change the world for our students too. Okay, so we could spend 2 weeks within the social style model, but here are a couple other ways to look at it. If you're a driver and maybe you have not always appreciated the amiables in your midst, know that we do need peace and harmony. They offer peace and harmony. Don't look at them as weak. The analyticals, we need them for details and precision while we work on these projects. They're not creating prevention to progress. The driver, we rely on them for action and results. They're not mean people. And the expressives, they're a source of creativity and disruption, which we definitely need with innovation and entrepreneurship. They're not intellectual lightweights. So this is something I hope you'll ponder a little bit. Okay, so a couple things about culture in higher ed, and you decide if you agree or disagree. The fish there represents this quote by Clyde Cluckhone. Clyde Cluckhone said, "It would hardly be a fish to discover the existence of water." Saying that if we've been swimming in the same culture for a long time, it's hard for us to know when we're thinking and behaving like the culture that we've been raised in. And if our students are looking to us to prepare them for 21st century jobs, and as jobs as an entrepreneur and entrepreneur, if we don't have that thinking and mindset and behavior, we might be struggling to offer that to our students. So this is where we need to be brave, lifelong learners and changers as well. So in higher education, it says typically uncomfortable with uncertainty. We have a lot of certainty in our environment versus a lot of people out in other jobs. People who work for startups, there's a lot less certainty. We have a lot of certainty in our everyday life. We have semesters, things happen the same way. We're also used to hierarchy, even in our titles. And I would say I have my students call me Caron, not Dr. Sada, and I think there are different perspectives on that. But sometimes power and hierarchy, it keeps people in their place. Who can we learn from? Who do we invite to the table? So the social style model can help us overcome those. In contrast, entrepreneurial cultures typically, they may not like uncertainty, but they know they have to live it. It is uncertain. When you're creating something new, when you're outside your comfort zone, that's uncertainty. You have to go there to be entrepreneurial. With hierarchy, if you're a startup in a garage, you're not calling someone Dr. So-and-so, and you're not worried about having the corner office. You just want to get things done in the garage so that your startup organization can take off. So the social style model can help us overcome maybe some of the social norms that we have. Here's another way to look at it, agree or disagree. But higher education's culture seems more comfortable with amiable analytical styles than with driving expressive styles. So if you're in a meeting and you're trying to plan a change initiative, entrepreneurship initiative or social entrepreneurship, think about which voices are elevated and which voices are squelched. And I wish we could spend a whole much more time on this, something to think about. These are some of the real world examples that we've accomplished. The adjunct faculty and mentoring program, That was when I was at Estrella Mountain Community College as an adjunct. And with that one, we really had to overcome some paradigms and some shifts. For instance, this was adjuncts mentoring adjuncts. And there were some residential faculty who said, well, adjuncts can't mentor adjuncts. It must be residential faculty. But we didn't have residential faculty signing up to mentor the adjuncts. It was also thought that mentoring was an all-powerful person with a less powerful, less knowing person. And we were creating a mentoring program that was equal status, equal power, just taking different roles. And then we also had to overcome the paradigm that you had to mentor someone within your own discipline. Math can only mentor math, right? No, math can mentor English can mentor arts. And so those three big paradigm shifts took a lot of this social persistence. And so our group, we were using the 5 dysfunctions of a team, and our group, we had lots of passionate discussions. And I'm wondering how many of your meetings have passionate discussions and disagreements. If they don't, that could be a sign that it's not innovation, that it's status quo behavior. There should be some passion and disagreement, and the social status can help you get through that. Women's History Month, we also used, we used a virtual model, I'll show you in a second, and then for Club Z, we've used the social styles as well. Next on the steps for how to create a social entrepreneurship initiative is to show that something is different. So I call this change the dance. In my old pharmaceutical life, reps would talk to prescribers in a certain way. They would approach each other in a certain way, they would talk to each other in a certain way, they would honor each other in a certain way. But if you don't change the dance, if you don't change the culture, if you don't change the way a meeting happens, then everybody falls into their same old behavioral habits. And we have to step out of those old behavioral habits if we're in the world of entrepreneurship or social entrepreneurship. So this is one of our Women's History Month meetings. It was virtual recruitment. We had 3 parties. We did not have any committee meetings. We had 3 parties. We had the initial party, then we had the calendar pickup party, and then we had the wrap-up celebration. And we recruited people again on what they wanted to do. And this is how social entrepreneurship can take anyone from advising, anyone from any discipline, anyone from leadership, anyone from any department, and bring them together because you recruit people, you involve people based on what they love to do. And you get to connect them with the skills that they're good at or that they want to develop, and making the world a better place. Okay, next on the steps is they continue to connect everyone. My classes all have cumulative final exams because if you expose people to content one time, for instance, if you never hear about the social styles again, I believe you won't know what happened anymore. If you don't take this handout with you or think about how you might use it in your real life, it will leave you. So we want to take these concepts and reinforce them so that your team becomes an actual microculture, that's the way that your group does that. That's how you are. And then the people who come in know who you are and how you do things, and they get woven into that exciting mix. And so with Club Z that we have on our campus, the students, these things happened organically. Now they say things like, that's so Z, that is so Z. They have their own shared language because we created this culture together. And they are brave innovators together because they're bonded through this culture. So those are some of the slogans that they came up with. And then down at the bottom, there's a possible social style conversation. Hey, I need results. I'll help you get your peace and harmony, the driver said to the enable, like what I did before. And then, an inclusive culture with visionary leadership. Did I mention that each one of you are the visionary leaders? Because this is where you look for the opportunities. What are the opportunities on your campus where you can add a layer of social entrepreneurship? You can add a layer of these experiences to something that's already happening. You don't have to start something brand new. And this is how advising can reach out to faculty, or faculty can reach out to recruiting. Anyone can connect to anyone on our campus using this model. And then you achieve results together. And again, you could choose a teeny tiny project to start out with, a teeny tiny layer. sell lemonade slushies to raise money for a new curtains in the Performing Arts building. So you achieve results together, and then you reflect together, looking at microculture. Then you adapt and you leverage your results into something more that's entrepreneurial. And then you repeat, and then you sustain and scale. So we want to create sustainable and scalable programs. But to do that, you have to have a cohesive group of people. People who have experienced those 3 preconditions together, and people who have a shared culture so that they're brave enough to be who they are, and do something that they weren't brave enough to do before. So a couple more things. Why is social entrepreneurship? It can connect people who haven't been connected before. It's a paradigm shift from entrepreneurship. It's not something that just happens in the business department in a lecture. It's something that can involve all of us. And if we're preparing our students for 21st century jobs, then we need to get them out of their seats and having real world experiences. Leroy, why would you want to do this? Because if you put your life energy into this campus every day when you come to work, why not get an even more powerful return on your investment? Love your work because you're part of something powerful that's going to change the students' lives. As you do this, you can help move all of us on that continuum, all staff and leadership, from bureaucracy to entrepreneurship, students from I am a creator to I am an entrepreneur, faculty from teacher-centered to active learning. And then we could change the world. So this would be a 2-day workshop. But I've given you some tools that I hope have been of interest to you, and I hope you got to have some fun thinking about who you are and what your role might be in changing the world and enjoying your job every day. We are so lucky that we work in Maricopa. So